things off, look, it's a Big Ten win. It's the first Big Ten game of the year for the Ohio State. This rendition of the Ohio State Buckeyes. It's Julian Sands' first away game that he's playing on the road. Um, I'm happy. I'm happy because at the end of the day, we got the win, and I think the better part about it, Mike, for me personally, just overall as I look at it, it looks like and I think you would agree with this. I had a few people that disagree with me on this, but on X, it looks like Ryan Day is calling the plays, and it looks like he's being very very bland. Um, and we can talk about that more. And I'm sure we will. And then I mean, look, Mike, I told you about this. I was going to bring this up because I want to. You asked me a question the other day in the space. You asked me, do I believe this defense is better than last year's?
Uh-huh.
Months ago, maybe like probably 3 months ago, me and you talked about this. We talked about potential of it happening. My answer to you the other day was, I'm not ready to say that yet. Mike, this defense is much better than last year's.
Yeah. 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 I told this the year of the Twitch monster.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
it's for people who know me, they know it was very hard for me last off season going into the 2024 season to just not talk about all of the Twitch monsters that were going to be playing this year. And now you get to see them. I posted a tweet and said, hey, where is all of the Caden Curry haters? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because people were saying, "Oh, I don't think that he's that. That's why we went and got Bo Atkinson." Well, is Bo Atkinson gonna play more than Caden Curry? And I said, it's kind of crazy that when he was a freshman, we even used this guy on the offensive side of the ball. This guy has always found his way around the football since he's been a freshman. I mean, to just think that he won't be around the ball even more with him on the field even more was crazy. And as you see, Caden Curry just has a game, and it's just beautiful to see.
Yeah, I during the game, I think it was like sometime near the mid third quarter, I tweeted out about Julian Sand. I said, I think that, and shout out to my guy Juju. He said I was coping on this. I was like, no, this is how I honestly feel. Ryan Day feels as though he can call the game the way he's calling it because he has a quarterback who's stupid accurate and he's not going to put the ball in harm's way. I mean,
Right.
Julian Sand, man, you watch him, he's poised, he's cool, calm, collected. Uh, in the space at halftime, Mike, you actually said this. I think it was you that said this, and you were talking about how he wasn't like that crowd did nothing to him, and like there was a few times in the broadcast when they focused in on Julian. I could look at like when you can look in a guy's eyes, Mike, you could tell if he wants it or he doesn't want it. Like when I watched the Ohio State Texas game before the game started, I looked in Arch's eyes and I said, "Oh, he's not ready." I could look at I could look at Julian's eyes during this game and say, he's fine. He knows what he's seeing out there. And Ryan Day has talked about. He said since week one, when Julian comes to the sideline, he knows what he saw and he can explain the decision he made and why he didn't make another decision. And he also knows what he did wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I mean, we can start with the offense here. I mean, we can start with Julian. Again, man, he was awesome. If someone were to look at the stat sheet, someone could surmise that Demond Williams played better than him, but he didn't. He didn't. And mind you,
Why would anybody? I mean, I think Julian had more yards than him, and Julian actually was able to get in a touchdown.
yeah,
Also, Julian had less sacks than him as well, and I believe Julian also had more rushing yards than him. So, I mean, if anybody says Demond is better than Julian Sang
yeah.
or had a better game than him, they obviously didn't watch it. They're just trying to look at one part of some stats.
And I'll tell you what. And by the way, I do this what you want, everybody. Julian Stan averaged more yards per carry than Demond Williams did. And I want to actually, I want to stick off Julian for a second, man, because And I guess you can kind of like give some credit to Ryan Day to an extent on this because Ryan Day has told plenty of his quarterbacks, if not all of them, do not run. It's early in the season, and Julian, man, like everybody for some odd reason, Mike, people thought that he was a statue. He can run like he's not like he ain't Lamar Jackson. I mean, hell, Mike, he's not uh Navarro from Ohio. Julian Sand can get down the field with his legs. He can do that, and it was really I was really happy to see that tonight or today.
Yeah, I was definitely glad to see Julian Sand, be able to escape the pocket, run when it was necessary, those type of things. I mean, Julian Sand, he's Cali cool. A lot of people was talking about. A lot of people were talking about the crowd. We're talking about Julian Sand. Oh, he might be rattled. But one thing that we have seen, I'm gonna tell you why I didn't believe it. I watched Julian Sand sit in the pocket in the Texas game, get hit, or not sit in the pocket. He was scrambling to his right, knew he was about to get hit by a big defender, and he sat there, threw the ball accurate to Carnell Tate to get us down the field. Like, I'm not worried about this dude. Then here's another thing that I was talking to people about and that I talked about in space. Everybody wanted to talk about Washington and the environment and everything. And you could see people who were there at the game was posting videos and all of that. It was so much red. And I tried to tell people.
Yeah. Oh, no, Washington fans saw that, Mike. Washington fans saw it.
Ohio State fans travel very well, and we have a great presence on the West Coast. These were just facts. And people didn't want to believe it, man. So shout out to the Buckeyes for always traveling well. I saw my guy Dev out there as well, man. So shout out to the Buckeyes who went ahead and did that. Also, like we were saying about Julian, man, I just believe I even saw Julian seemed a little pissed off out there, and I like that. I like that fire in him. And go in that huddle, get that fire in them guys. Because I definitely put out a tweet that Philip Daniels probably need to be doing. Him and Edric Houston need to be on that Coach Boone diet. Up downs until you throw up.
So, Mike, you know me pretty well, Mike, and I have no problem with I'll just read this. So shout out to our guy Cam Truther Vandross over at X Truther_Vandross for you guys that you guys should go follow him. He messaged me during the game. And shout out to my man Cam. He said, "You might be able to cook a little bit." and he's right. And I did express him. I said, there were some things. We had a very heated discussion. Everybody in a space. Now, and I said I wanted to see our run defense. And mind you, I thought our run defense was awesome today. I saw what I needed to see, Mike. Mind you, that long run that Jonah Coleman got. There was a hold on Caleb Downs that was not called.
It's a disputed as whether it was a good hook or not. But I feel you.
But I told a lot of Ohio State fans, Mike, this game was not going to be easy. I originally I said the game would be 30-20. Of course, I was wrong on that because Mike, you were very adamant on this, Mike. You did not see them scoring 20 points. You were completely right. Mike, you were it was crazy, and you're completely right about that. You were completely right about that. At the same time, do I think I would say I was right. Do I believe our run game was that good? No, but I do want to point by. There's a caveat to me being right on this because I think I'm not completely right on this. All week I said Bo Jackson needs to get the ball at least 15 times, and he did. Bo Jackson is it's not close. It's not close anymore. He is the best running back at Ohio State. And I think that it would behoove of our coaching staff to understand that you have Maurice Clarett. You have J.K. Dobbins. You have your Beanie Wells. That's what you have back there. as a true freshman. Give him the ball. Mike, that kid's he has the potential, Mike, to be the next great Ohio State running back. I really believe that.
I mean, I tried to tell you guys about my Cleveland guys, man, and y'all just think I be saying this about Cleveland just because I'm from there, man. But it's different. It's different. And so, shout out to Bo Jackson. He was getting those hard fought yards, but yeah, there needs to be a discussion about the running back room and the rotations. I am glad that Bo Jackson got majority of the carries.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. And to what you were talking about what we were talking about in the spaces, here's the thing. I think that this game, if Ryan Day did not go into this with the mindset of hey, let's go out here and play the Texas game plan and still put Julian Sand on a leash, because it's like when you extended the leash of Julian Sand, our offense looked better. And I was not expecting them to have Julian Sand on the leash in the first half. Also, we didn't really get that many possessions because, shout out Brandon Ennis. He bounced back from it, but he had the fumble, which kind of killed some momentum, allowed Washington to go down there and get a drive.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, brother. I thought it was hilarious because I think it was Cam that said this in the space at halftime, but like he cooked on that punt return too. That's why I was so angry about it.
He did, but I mean, here's the thing: this happened under Urban Meyer, right? We had a player fumble under Urban Meyer. One thing that Urban Meyer said is if a guy is giving good effort and making plays, I'm not going to fault him for that. I mean, now, do you want a guy to fumble? No, you don't. But, I mean, like you said, we've been asking, hey, when are we going to see Brandon Ennis cook? Now, we need to see him secure that ball, hold on to that ball, but we did. We got to see him cook. We got to see a little bit of wiggle out of Brandon Ennis. That's what we've been asking for or whatever. So we know it's there. Now no one can say it's not there. And I thought he looked good in the passing game as well. So...
Well, in the last few weeks, there are a lot of plays that Julian missed where Brandon is clearly open. Like the fumble's a fumble. We all know that happened. But outside of that, I thought Brandon Ennis played a great game today. He got open. When he got the ball, he made things happen. He furthered our drives. I'm actually really proud of him today because when you fumble the ball out and like, man, like, if you play football, man, you've been there, man. When you fumble that football, it gets to you. It can really get to you. But when after that happened, though, man, Brandon continued to make plays. He continued to get open, continue to run awesome routes and do what he does. And when Cardinal, I don't really want to know. I don't really know if Cardinal's being taken off the game. I think a lot has to do with play calling. I think a lot of that has to do with Julian not looking his way. Of course, we saw most of the game that Jeremiah was double teamed, but that opened the middle of the field, and he took advantage of it.
Yeah, I started this in the chat. Jam just said they sent out defensive players for the first two interviews, which, to be honest, I have no issues with. Man, the offense they need to talk. They need a come to Jesus meeting. And I honestly believe, like, here's the thing. As a wide receiver, the caliber of wide receivers that we have, right? This is my issue with what the play calling is. These wide receivers came to run the type of offense that they got to say Chris Olave run, Garrett Wilson run, all of those guys get to run that type of offense. And I feel like just putting Julian Sand on the leash, the conservativeness, that's not what these guys came out here to play with, man. And I know some people was like, oh, we don't got to show everything against every team. And I'm like, we shouldn't have to show everything against every team for us to throw the ball and push the ball downfield. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. Say that last part again. That last part.
I don't feel we have to show everything to push the ball downfield, throwing the ball.
No, we don't. We don't. And again, one of the things I took away from that Texas game was that it looks like Ryan Day has now become comfortable with just winning in any possible way. He can care less now.
Right.
And then when I see this game, where Ryan Day, he clearly knows he has the talent advantage, he has the coaching staff advantage, he has every advantage in this game. I don't think Ryan Day feels as though he really needs to open anything up.
Mm-hmm.
I truly feel that way. And then and this has happened in every single game so far this year, where they'll bring out some a well schemed play, whether it be in the run game or in the pass game, and it works out very well. And sometimes you just want to put that on tape. But yeah, I agree with you, Mike. No, Day doesn't feel like.
Here's my thing. They would always tell us, we should be getting 250 receiving, 250 scoring. Rushing. We ain't even do that.
Yeah.
So that's my issue, man. I think that it should be a lot better. And it can be a lot better. And I just feel like we have the horses. Like, I understood why we kind of switched to this, because we would see, Marvin Harrison and Emeka, right? We saw them get dead legs later on in the season. But you have a Mylan Graham sitting back there. You have a Bryson Rogers sitting back there. I don't believe if you're gonna let these guys play and run these guys, I think that those guys are serviceable to at least get in.
I agree. Last week when Bryson Rogers got the game, mind you, for those that don't know, Bryson Rogers is probably one of the faster players on the team. He's one of the fastest players on the team, and but he made a really great catch last week. Now I think we probably could have rotated more in this game. I think at the wide receiver unit. Real quick, I want to read this real quick. Shout out to my guy Juju. He's talking about Julian Sand here. He says, impressed by his poise, not impressed by his QB ability. I'm gonna stop right there. I want to break. I want to break this. I want to break this comment down. When you say his QB ability, if you want to talk about Julian Sand's arm strength, we can. I have no problem with anybody talking about that. Outside of that, if I talk about his poise, if I talk about the way he navigates the pocket, if I talk about the fact that he knows when to throw the ball away, if I talk about the fact that he probably has the quickest release in college football, which is a sack negator. If we talk about the fact that he gets to his reads really fast, if we talk about the fact that he doesn't put the ball in harm's way, I don't know what you're not impressed by in his QB ability. Then he says he's surrounded by incredible talent. So is every Ohio State quarterback in Ohio State history.
Julian Sand was not the issue in this game, bro. If anybody is trying to judge Julian Sand too hard on this game, you obviously did not watch the full game, right? And also, when you have your coach sitting there saying that we're going in there with the same mindset that we went in there with Texas, what did we do against Texas? We played trestle ball. What did we just do against Washington? We played trestle ball. This is not your normal Ohio State offense that you are seeing. This is not normally what we do. Obviously, this is what they want to be conservative. And honestly, here's the thing. Julian has looked good in this conservative offense, right?
Yes.
There's a quarterback.
Yes.
There's a quarterback that's playing tonight who has not looked as good in the conservative offense as Penn State has said. That they have been conservative against their cupcakes. But he still has looked a little rough against those cupcakes. So, my thing is, man, y'all coming at the wrong quarterback. Let's have some real takes.
Again, I just want to remind everybody about this with Julian Sand. He's currently the most accurate quarterback in college football, and he's also 9 for 9 of passes of 20 plus more with an average of 41 yards per touchdown coming to this game. Julian is just not. There's a lot. Like if I want to pick holes in my own team, Julian Sand is one of the last things I'm ever going to get to.
Right.
One of the last things we're getting to.
Yeah, I need discipline from Edric Houston, and I need discipline from Philip Daniels and Tegra.
Mike, before we got on here, you were talking about our O line, specifically Luke Montgomery. What'd you see out of him today in our O line?
Man, I saw Luke Montgomery throwing boys to the ground, pancaking him, man. But it wasn't just Luke; it was the trenches, man. And one thing I hate to see injuries happen, but our guys were just mauling, man. And that's something that you want to see, right? You want to see your guys maul in the run game, mauling in the pass game, and they were just pancaking guys, like it was good to see. And a lot of people, had questions about our offensive line and could they hold up. I don't have those type of questions. To be honest, it looks like they're getting better and better each week, which is what we said, right?
Yes. Something else that you've said plenty of times over the last few months, especially the offseason, Mike, very athletic offensive line, as you said plenty of times. I'll tell you what, man, their pass pro, outstanding. Washington was coming in this game with 6 sacks. They led the nation in pressure without blitzing. That didn't show today. And mind you, let's be honest, everybody. Ohio State, first drive of the game, they don't get a touchdown. Brandon Ennis fumbles on the punt return. That's another possession gone. The game could have looked different. It could have. And a lot of the things that happened, I mean, there's coaching you can look at. There's guys didn't make some plays. That's just the truth of the matter. But nah, man, that offensive line, man, is just it's one of the top 5 in the nation.
Yeah. Now on that, the first 4th and 1 that we went to get, right? Jelani did. Everybody was saying Jelani got smacked, clogged the hole up. But as a running back, and Garrison, you know this, as a running back, you have to get low behind your pass. There is no reason, even though Jelani was on the ground clogging it up, there is no reason a running back should get stood up. Your job is to get low and get behind your pass where you're always falling forward. That was the great thing that everybody talked about, Zeke. That's the great thing about those type of running backs. When you're able to fall forward, you're not going to fall forward when you're running, standing up. He's running like a tight end. And I'm kind of a little disappointed in Coach Locke right now because I figured that would be coached out of him. Or if it's not, why are you putting this guy on 4th and 1 knowing that he got to run behind his pads and he's not doing it?
I have more trust in James Peoples on 4th and 1 than I do C.J. Donaldson.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, I'll say this. I feel like Bo Jackson always got us down the field, but then we end up rewarding C.J. Donaldson with the touchdown. And it was like, bruh. Like, Bowden did all this work. Like the 3rd and it's like 3rd and 17. Bo got all them 17 yards. What we do? Here, come on, CJ. Let's get you a touchdown.
I'm looking at it right here. Bo Jackson, 17 carries, 80 yards, long of 16. CJ Donaldson, 9 for 39, touchdown, 11, long of 11. The James Peoples only had 3 carries today for 10 yards, along with 5. So I guess he didn't have a great day. He had some receptions, I believe, but he had 3 receptions for 16 yards. Mike, you talked about this at halftime. As a running back, and like you said, Mike, like that position, I really love that position. My dad played it. He taught me how to play. Like there's a lot of things that go into playing that position. A lot of it's instinctual, but you can't run high. You can't open yourself up. I mean, he's a big guy. I've seen a lot of big running backs, tall running backs, run low. Exactly. There you go. There you go, Mike.
I love the position too,
Mike. Like we're both in our 30s, right? In Pee Wee, one of the first things you learn the lower man wins. CJ Donaldson needs to learn that. And if he can't learn that, then maybe he can be tight end 5.
Pull back.
If he can't learn that, maybe it's time to get West on the field. You can't run like that. And what sucks about that is he getting yards? Yeah, but when it counts, is he? No. So, and yeah, I was upset. I was upset the fact that they took Bo out after that run, knowing that he got us down the field.
Yeah, man. I definitely would like to see other running backs other than just the 3 that we're having. I mean, obviously, I would like to see Bo more and more and more. But I mean, it was good. And also got to speak on JJ, man, giving the spark, scoring that touchdown before half, and then also coming out of half, giving that offense some life and some juice as well, man. So shout out to JJ. And it's just that's just what I was saying. First half, we just allowing stuff. We not being like, come on, man. Like, if we're moving JJ around and have to do something in the slot and we're showing something, like we don't have, like, we're really showing everything and we put JJ in the slot. Come on, man. What are we doing? So we could have been moving JJ around, getting him going. We should have been getting him going a lot more in the first half, and that's just my thing. We could do better with that.
So. Yeah, and Mike, after we spammed JJ after halftime in that first drive, and there was that one. I think it was like his third catch, second or third catch. It was on an out route, maybe like 6 yards or so. But he got pumped up after that play. It's only 6 yards, but he got pumped up because he's like, "Yo, yeah, man, give me the ball." What's the name of Keyshawn Johnson's famous book?
Wow.
Give me the damn ball.
That man came to play the offense that he watched Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson play in, bro. These people did not come to play in this type of offense.
No, I'm right with you.
Come on, man. All this, like, Ryan Day, bro. Like, Ryan Day is always. Here's the thing. I know we wouldn't show everything because Ryan Day, every single day on Sundays, you know what he's going to do? He's going to be drawing up plays.
Yeah.
Every Sunday. Like, this man, if he's watching an NFL game, you know what he's doing? Drawing up plays. He's always drawing up plays, bro. So I'm not worried about what are we gonna show, man. Come on, man. Like, y'all act like we weren't throwing bombs over Baghdad in 2019 or whatever, even when we had a top-ranked defense, right? And then we started showing something different in those playoffs as well. Our tight ends was getting loose. We was like, whoa, we using the tight ends this playoffs? Whoa, right?
Yep.
So I don't want to hear the